Hey, what's up guys? How we doing? So today I wanted to talk a little bit about the subject of giving it time, basically. This is something that I've seen throughout my career playing. It's happened to me personally along with teammates, and it especially happens when I'm giving lessons or talk to people that are taking lessons. And basically what it is thinking that you're going to come into a lesson or a camp or a clinic or just practice on your own, and you're trying to change something, make something better, and thinking it's going to happen in 5 swings or 5 minutes or even 5 days and sometimes 5 weeks. I see this all the time. I'll see a player that's doing something or a bunch of things really wrong, and I'll explain it to him, and we start working on it, and the player thinks that it's going to take a 30-minute lesson or 30 swings to fix this problem, and it's going to be gone forever, and they're going to become the greatest player in the world. And when it doesn't happen in only 30 minutes, or sometimes players want 30 seconds, they get really frustrated, and they might even go back to their old ways and say it doesn't work. They don't give it any time. A lot of players aren't comfortable stepping out of their comfort zone and allowing something and giving it the chance to work. And I'll tell you honestly, with myself going through a lot of swing changes over my career, it's not going to change in 30 minutes or a week, sometimes not a month, depending on the problem. You have to give it time. Whatever it is you're doing, it's probably something that you might have done your whole entire life. So to think that in 30 minutes you're going to take something that you've perhaps built into your muscle memory for, let's just say, 20 years, to think it's going to take 20 minutes to get that right, probably isn't going to happen. So I see this all the time, and I want to give you a quick example of a player who this year came into me, and he's a college player, outfielder, had a couple of swing things that we needed to really work on. You know, he was a decent player, but I thought he had the potential to be a very good player if he worked on basically 3 main things. And they were very, very big things. It wasn't something tiny. We were basically overhauling his entire swing. And I was very confident that if he made the changes, he would become a much, much more consistent, more powerful hitter. And I got him on board with it. I showed him a few things. He agreed, and he really went to work. Now, the first time we did this, and maybe I'll interview him one of these days, it wasn't very pretty, and he wasn't hitting balls well at all. He actually might have even looked worse than he did the very first day I saw him, because when you're making a swing change, you're thinking about, okay, what am I supposed to be doing differently? And a lot of times you're not even focusing on the ball, and you might miss-hit a few balls, and it might look kind of ugly. Some players get really upset at that. They don't like that idea of getting out of their comfort zone, and they give up right there. First 5 minutes, they give up. But with this player, and with a lot of players, but this is just one example I want to talk about. I explained all this to him, and he would get a little frustrated, but he understood that he needed to go through this to eventually get his swing to where he wanted to get it. And it didn't get him down. He didn't worry about it. He kept working towards the ultimate goal and the changes we were trying to make. Well, I've been working now with him for almost 2 months. And one thing he's done is he's consistently come every single week. Not only does he come every week, but throughout the week, we're always exchanging emails and text messages and phone calls talking about certain things and drills that he could be doing. And he's always thinking about it. He's always working on it. And here's a guy that's made now, in 2 months, I'll put up his swing from the very first day that we worked together. I'll do this probably the next few days. And then what we have right now, and it's a totally different swing. And he went from a swing that, might allow him to be a half-decent college baseball player at a very small school, to perhaps being a very good player and having a chance to go and play at an even bigger school, and hopefully one day continue to play baseball. I know that's his ultimate goal. But he gave it time to work. He was very consistent with how much he worked, how much work he put in. He understood it wasn't going to be a 30-minute fix or one lesson fix. And he's come every single week for 2 months, and he's put in the work, and it has really paid off. Now, not every player will do that. A lot of guys won't allow it to happen. A lot of people think they can come in for one lesson and get everything fixed, and they're good to go, and they're going to be Barry Bonds now. That's simply not the fact. Myself, when I was struggling, I've had years where I've struggled, or months where I've struggled, and to get out of that, it took hitting every single day for sometimes a month of every single day hitting to finally ingrain that right muscle memory that you're looking for. So it's not going to be an easy fix. If you want to get fixed, you have to put in the effort and the time that it takes, and mentally you have to make sure that it's something you want to go through. So you have to be convinced that it's going to help you. And if you do believe it will help you, and you put in the work, and you continue to build every single day towards it, eventually it will work. So that's just one quick story I wanted to share with you, and I'll throw up this player's swing, just so you can see the amount of change he made. And if he didn't have the mindset he had, and the belief that it would work, he'd still be 2 months later, he'd be doing the same exact thing. And I know that he's happy with it. I tell him every day that I see how much better it's getting, but when he really notices it, he can see it for himself, but when he goes back to school and started playing again with his teammates, and players are coming up to him and say, what did you do over the last month or so? You look totally different. You're hitting the ball twice as hard as you were. You look like a totally different player. Then he starts to really believe that the changes he made are worth it. So that's one story. I'll throw it up there. But that's the biggest thing. Give it time. It's not going to change in one day or 1 week or even 1 month sometimes. And you have to allow it to work. If you fight it, then it ain't going to happen. You got to really believe in it. So get good advice, make sure it's the right thing to work on, and then go to work on it. And you will be a much better player for it. All right, guys, that's all I got for today. Hope this helps. We'll talk to you later.